What's good, y'all? What's good? What's good? We back again. We back. We're gonna talking about, added the Trump and the F bomb. You know, Diddy will straight face strict rules if released from prison. So we are gonna continue with that. But yeah, Trump was talking about, you know, the Venezuela government, and man, he just crashed out and it was dropped like, yo, they don't know who they effing with. You know what I mean? Because we them guys. We them guys. Basically, Trump said, we them guys. But shout out to everybody this morning. It's Saturday. Grab your coffee. Grab yourself a donut or something, or something. Get it together. I am gonna grab my tea, and we're gonna get into this topic of discussion here, people. Trump dropping the F bomb. Crazy, madness. Madness. I got a bit of time this morning. I probably got like an hour. Crazy, I got like an hour left. Before I had some time. But yeah. We can get into that. Boy, we can get into that. Get into that. Get into that, y'all. Yeah, let's let me hold on. Let me get into this shit here. And share this with y'all real quick. Donald Trump out here, boy. Can't lie, man out there. Oh, what the hell? Can't lie here. This man out here is, crazy. Trump is, man, losing his mind. But what I don't understand about people, they don't understand like YouTube don't swear. They don't watch ads or. So what if the government dropped the F bomb? You know what I mean? What? So what? So what if Donald Trump dropped the F bomb? Everybody swears. I mean, but he ain't lying. He's not lying. Them people over there, man, they're acting too tough, acting out of character. Yeah, they gotta be taught a lesson. Oh, you said no kings is the American way. All right, I remember that. I don't know what you mean by that, but I will remember that. Get into that.
Table properly. This should be one that we get done, and I think the table is set properly here now too. And it'll be a great honor. It'll be a great honor to get it done. And the Ukrainian people are great, and the Russian people are great. And obviously, they have much in common, as we understand. They have a lot in common. So it'll be a great honor to get it done.
Yeah. On Venezuela, there are survivors from your latest boat strike. What happens to those survivors?
Well, I'll ask Marco to discuss that possibly.
Yeah, it's well known there's an ongoing narco-terrorist operation the United States has been conducting. As far as details of any recent strikes, we're not prepared here to announce all those details, but you'll get that information here very shortly.
And how are there survivors when these are meant to be lethal attacks?
Yeah, again, I mean, we're undertaking these operations against narco-terrorists. That's what these are. These are terrorists. Let's be clear. And but as far as the details of any recent operations, when we are prepared to announce those, we will, as the president has consistently done. So you may get something on that later today.
Let me ask you, that was in a submarine, right? We attacked a submarine, and that was a drug-carrying submarine built specifically for the transportation of massive amounts of drugs. Just so you understand, this was not an innocent group of people. I don't know too many people that have submarines. And
yeah. Who?
that was an attack on a drug-carrying, loaded-up submarine. Yeah.
On Putin, is it your belief, as Mr. Zelensky?
That is crazy. That is a submarine. That's like yeah. That is, to me, that is, a submarine is kind of a lot of work. It's crazy. But Trump, I always want to bomb somebody. Yeah. This dude always trying to bomb somebody. But them people though did have drugs up in their shit. They, I don't think they should be driving around with no submarine. Like a submarine though, yeah. A submarine is Trump rules. America great again. But yo, listen, bomb them people, yes, bomb them. Them people are bringing, and they're making more money. They're making more money of bringing their shit over here. You know what I mean? They ruined. I'm gonna show you, right? As a Canadian, I'm gonna show you how Trump is good. So when Trump came in power, right? Before Trump was in power in America, United States was the back door for all, drug distribution to Australia, what do you call it? All the, these other like Venezuela, right? But guess what? Ever since that man came in power, guess who they go? That's who they all using to guess who's the number one drug selling country now that is supporting these countries? Canada is now, ever since Donald Trump came in and did what he did, Canada, now, so United States does not deliver drugs like how they say they did. So just like how he was blaming Canada for you're letting drugs come across the border, it's true. Go look it up. The most distribution, fentanyl, heroin, all them drugs that kill people, they get deported from Canada. They cannot go to the US no more. You cannot ship that shit from the US no more. Bomb them motherfuckers. Sheep. Bah. I mean, bomb these motherfuckers. You see what I'm saying? Real shit. Well, good morning, though, people. But yeah, what do y'all think about him dropping the F-bomb? Y'all, I don't know why everybody drops the F-bomb. We watch a YouTube video, we see the F-bomb all the time. Even the kids see it. I mean, even the 5-year-olds know what the F-bomb is like. I mean, to me, F-bomb is like PG-13. It's not really something that could damage kids or like, I mean, real talk. Trust me, even the pastor dropped the F-bomb. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? But yeah, the truth does hurt. It does. I can't lie. It does. Let's go into this.
He said yesterday that the threat of tomahawks and costs, as Secretary Hicks had put it, is that bringing him to the table? The fact that it's kind of a carrot and stick?
I don't know what's bringing him to. I think he wants to make a deal. That's all. I can't tell you what's bringing him. Sure, that's.
So you're saying he's not a leader? He's not a leader, right? You think he's a bully or he's a leader? Well, you gotta understand though. If you can have a government that stops the drugs from flowing in your country, into your neighborhood, and all that stuff, it's pretty, And now he about to release Diddy. Oh man, they definitely gonna hate him more. They're gonna hate him more. Always want with a no different. Oh, hey boy. A lot of people don't like Trump this morning, but you gotta understand that F-bomb thing. It's been they've been using that shit. They've been using that. It's not. So you saying because he dropped the F-bomb, he's not a leader? Everybody swears, even the, what do you call it? Even, I'm telling you, a lot of people, you'd be surprised who the people I'm gonna drop who swears. You'd be surprised. But Venezuela though, they got a submarine bringing drugs. So you're like traveling underneath water. Like, you're violating. You're violating. And you're thinking of every way to bring the stuff across. But man, Trump, they're really mad at this guy.
The threat of that is good, but the threat of that is always there.
Hey, YouTube.
Oh, my bad. I had to mute that. I had to mute that, yeah.
Tomahawks are very dangerous weapons. They're incredible weapons. If you like warfare, it's one of the most accurate. We used.
So that's what did he do with Tomahawk? You saying he's not doing nothing for American people? He's not doing nothing? Right, it's true though. It looks like he's doing more for Israel than the American people. I can't lie. I'll give you that. It looks like he's doing more. It looks like he's doing more for Israel than the American people. It looks like he's doing more for Israel than the American people. That right there is real tough. Real tough. It looks like he's he's doing more for them. But man, them people that are bringing drugs in the United States of America, not right though. It's not right. If you're using like military, Flyboy was good. You know what I mean? If you're using military, what's good, Flyboy? Good morning, sir. Good morning. Hit the like button for me. Military action, stuff like, as I said, them things right there. Submarine to bring, and you can't say he's not like a submarine. Yeah, bomb them. You know what I mean? You can't really have that type of stuff coming in like that. They using military stuff to bring thing into the country. As I said, he's doing a good job. I'm gonna tell you this though. He's doing a good job of keeping drugs outside America. He make it hard for the cartels and them to bring drugs inside of America. Though I can't lie. He had he's man, but I can't lie. Certain things he does is kind of like, you're right. It's kind of like you think about it, you're like, man, this guy, not really. You know what I mean? I don't know. You can, you can't. You know what you say? You can't please everybody. Yeah. You know what I mean? Real talk. You can't really please everybody. You can't please everybody. But I don't know. I think he's kind of like confusing. He's like, he'll say something, and then like when he said he's not gonna pardon Diddy because Diddy talked bad about him, right? Whatever. And then he said, I'm thinking about it. And then they asked him about it, then he thinks about it. So now he's telling other people I might pardon Diddy, I might not. Then he tells, it's just confusing. Donald Trump is kind of confusing sometimes because he said stuff, and then I think he forget. I think he might have craft disease. He forgets about that's a thing where 80-year-old, 70-year-old, 75-year-old man, where they have memory loss. Like they'll say something and then they'll forget about it. Allegedly. I mean, but that's all I can say about him. He does a lot of, he says a lot of stuff and he doesn't, you go back and he doesn't really, Diddy is not the problem with America. It's true. Well, they act like it is. They act like Diddy was a problem in America. They act like, what I mean? But I know. That's why you're saying, I think Epstein and them, uh, you know, that's just a wild situation. Epstein, like, it's crazy because you just put up your comment and it came up on my in my chat, but it does not come up on the regular comment. So that's why you say you gotta watch what you type about the stuff about Epstein. 'Cause I do see everything that you say. Just when you say just saying, right? But they did not show the question on the YouTube comment section about what you said about Epstein. I'm just trying to show you what these people are trying to do. They protect certain people. You can't really blame the government where you got social media. Yeah, you see what I'm talking about? You got social media sites doing it too. But they will say, oh, we don't do that. We want to know the truth. So if you guys want to hear the truth, why are these platforms hiding the people I'm in the comments when they want to say their mind? Give them the freedom of speech to say what's on their mind. You can't hold back their comments. They never violated. Then I don't see nobody violating, calling, being rude or anything, or even trying to be, offended towards me. But I'm just saying that if someone has something to say about Epstein, Diddy, and how how both cases kind of like, it's weird how they don't allow the commentators to type that. Oh, much respect. Yeah, much respect for you guys coming in. Make sure, shout out to all y'all that come in here. I want to make sure, and the like button, please subscribe to the channel, please. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Trump, a lot of stuff. And I said, he's doing a good job. One thing I could give him, though, is he's keeping the drugs out of America. You know what I mean? Can't say the same thing for us over here on the other side. Yeah, we the number one of hooking up, of letting the drug cartel do whatever they want in Ontario, Canada.
We had 30 Tomahawks in Iran after the B-2s did their damage. We sort of gave it a little capper with 30 Tomahawks from a submarine, quite far away, actually. But they're an amazing weapon. They're a very powerful weapon, but they're a very dangerous weapon. And it could mean big, escalation. It could mean a lot of bad things can happen. Tomahawks are a big deal. But one thing I have to say, we want Tomahawks also. We don't want to be giving away.
Yeah, but freedom of speech always been freedom of speech, though. You know this freedom of speech. As I said, everybody, and every commentator, every YouTuber don't have a freedom of speech. Because if you say something and you word it, even if you word it right, without trying to be disrespectful or trying to be offended, guess what? They're gonna take it. They're not gonna show your comment. They're gonna might block your comment and ask the moderator to delete it or something. You know what I mean? But I'm just trying to show you, like, freedom of speech has always been like, it's always been on the table where people can't say what they want. Look, I'm gonna show you something, right? In China, and we see when China, when before the pandemic happened, right? China had a big ass protest, and after COVID, what happened? Have been time. What's going on? Good morning. Much respect. I see you. Much respect. This guy Sam Dixon has been last reason for what this man get away with. Yeah, you know what? I can't lie. Trump gets away with a lot. He does get away with a lot. Like, I believe if he was black, he would be facing some like sexual charges right now, some assault charge, some even not even if he was black. I believe if he was the next Caucasian dude, that he would be facing some like a lot of stuff. Respect, family. Much respect, time. Much respect. You know what I mean? Much respect to you, man. Much respect. I hope you guys are doing good. You know what I mean? And yes, stay away from this bad food. Try not to eat too much of the same thing all the time. Try not to do the same thing all the time. There's a lot of trickery. There's a lot of politics. And what I'm finding out is the game right now, that is. But yeah, but you know the freedom of speech. Look, time you gotta understand the freedom of speech stuff. It's always been like that. Look, Tupac, you know, JFK, uh, JFK, you know, you think he got hit up because he was, freedom of speech. You know what I mean? They didn't want him in there. Hey, I'm telling you, boy, the government is so cold. Everybody, yo, you ain't lying, time. And the government, I'm trying. This is why I tell people don't listen to them. That they will let you turn against each other. The goal is to put you, towards him, to fight against him. It's everybody for the. I'm telling you, you ain't lying, time. You're not lying. You're not lying. You're not lying, brother. This is crazy out here. As I said, it's crazy out here. It is definitely a crazy one. Yeah, but the politics that the politicians are running is higher than before. It's crazier than before. I'm telling you. Politics is, man. The politics is crazy. But yeah, Trump now looks like he wants to, like, as I said, he's kind of confusing sometimes. He wants to give. Yes, used to be in the White House. Got into a country. Yes, because not even that. Like, you got to remember when they were dealing with the cartels, when the CIA was working with them. Also, 2 times. That's the next reason why, And I think that's what's going on right now is, I think the CIA or the FBI, allegedly, or the DEA, made some deal with them and trying to backdoor them right now. That's what's going on with this whole war. Allegedly, I don't know. I'm just saying that. I don't want nobody to quote me to it. I'm putting out false information, but I'm just saying it looks like what that's going on. Is only America is in war with you guys? Nobody else? Like, you see what I'm saying? It looks kind of weird. It does look kind of a way, like it look kind of suspect.
Things that we need to protect our country. We have a very strong country right now. We have a strong military. We have the greatest military in the world. We have the greatest weapons in the world. I want to get this war over. Okay?
Putin-Trump tunnel to connect Russia and Alaska. Are you interested?
I just heard about it. A tunnel from Russia to Alaska. I just heard about that one. That's an interesting one. We'll have to think about that. I hadn't heard that. We just did a nice road in Alaska that's going to get us to a lot of minerals. So we have a piece of it, a good piece of the ownership because of the fact we made it possible. But this came up yesterday, a tunnel from Russia to Alaska. That's an interesting. What do you think of that, Mr. President? Do you have any?
And it seems like every government, right, just like that, they just like for themselves, like sellouts, like man, they will give a deal, and it's true though. Every man for themselves. It's every man for themselves. Every man for themselves, And it's crazy because I don't know if you remember when Rice said this time. I don't remember when Rice said this, like, I must have been like 7 or 8 months ago. When you said, they're leaving us alone and no one's going to help us. It's just us that's defending ourselves. And the crazier you say that, it's every man for themselves right now. When it comes to America, it's crazy. It's fucking wild. That is absolutely wild, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. That is wild. That is wild, brother. Wow. Wow. Every man for themselves. This thing here, this war that's going on. It's kind of confusing because I thought it was beefing. Charlie Kirk was killed. And we all knew Donald Trump was a lie. Yeah, Everybody said that they believe Donald Trump's attempt was a lie. You know, I don't know. I think both of them was a lie. That's just me though. It's just crazy. I don't know how true that. I don't know. I don't know. You know that. You gotta ask yourself though. Time. I don't know what to say. You know what to say, but I can't lie. I see him. I can see him. I don't know. As I said, I don't know much about these assassinations and how. As I said, there should be, and I kind of get it though, time, because where's the investigation going on that? You know, shouldn't we know who's helping these people and how release their phone records? You know, all this other stuff. Like, just because this is the government we're talking about, this is the president, right? It's a U.S. official. Why do people keep saying that? That's just, I heard that somewhere around. I seen that in someone's United States of Israel, and then I seen someone said to me, "The United States of Israel." This is my third time seeing this. I seen this twice yesterday in someone else's chat, and then I seen Israel owned the United States. Why does everybody keep saying that? Why? 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 That's crazy. It's true because them Israel people though, they did say we voted for them. We put them where they want to be. They did say that. They did say that. Them Israel people did say, oh, they can't do nothing without us. They did, and I thought it was weird how an Israel agent would come up and say, oh, they got to do what we say. If they don't go by our rules, we're not going to support them no more. We're not going to vote for them no more. You know what I mean? So this is why I can see why people say, oh, you know, U.S. is owned by Israel or United States of Israel, or, you know, because, man, because of Israel. Yeah, but see, they're not gonna allow that comment to be up there. That's what I'm trying to show you. There is crazy up in here this morning. But I'm gonna highlight it though. Give me a second. I should have highlighted the other dude comment what he said too. Let me highlight his comment first. Hold on. He said some pretty interesting stuff. Hold on. Donald Jones. He said something else. Okay, hold on. Yeah, they don't put certain comments up when you're talking about certain government officials up here. I noticed that. It's very strange. Very, very strange. Very strange. But yeah, he just dropped the F-bomb. They don't know who they're effing with and all that. But you gotta let people know though. You gotta let people know. My thing is keeping drugs out of the country, but otherwise, I don't know. Would it be done for the country? I don't know. I have to see like a lower class Caucasian neighborhood, which they're going through the same shit right now, because the Caucasian people are the ones that are saying that, yo, he's not doing nothing for our neighborhoods. He's not doing nothing for our jobs. He's not getting our family members jobs. Like, you know, our what do you call it? Our veterans, you know, he break promises to them and all them stuff. But I don't see no veterans complaining though. I see people complaining about the veterans, but I don't see no veterans out there complaining about. But it could be true. I don't know. It could be true.
Ideas. How do you like that idea?
I'm not happy with this.
I don't think you're gonna like it. I don't think he liked it. I don't think he liked it.
President Trump, do you think that Vladimir Putin, do you think that Putin is your gut instinct?
Well, we had a senator that wanted, remember, from Hawaii, she wanted a tunnel from the mainland to Hawaii, and she said, well, we can't do that, so we're going to build a railroad to Hawaii. Do you remember? She's a current sitting senator, a Democrat. She wants a railroad to go to Hawaii, right? You know who that is, right? She's another beauty.
You have President Trump on Putin. Your gut instinct.
Yeah, please.
On your meeting with Putin,
Aren't you concerned that maybe the Russian president is trying to buy himself more time?
Yeah, I am. But, you know, I've been played all my life by the best of them. And I came out
yeah, let me
really
pause,
well.
let me pause.
So it's possible, yeah.
Pause,
A little
yo,
time.
Your gut
It's
instinct,
all right. But I think that
hold up. I gotta get Trump set. I've been played all my life. That line right there, I've been played all my life. What does he mean by that? Like I've been played all my life. What does he mean by that, y'all? The American government just said I've been played all my life, so you know I don't care if you buy more time, all that. You know, something's wrong right there. Okay, good morning, princess. You know. He's playing all his life. Yeah, but I don't get that part when he said you've been playing all his life. He played, you know. I don't get what you mean by that. I don't understand it. I don't get it at all. But man, as I see, he had a lot of stuff going on. Remember, you know, as I say, he's kind of confusing sometimes. The time he'd be like, you know, I'm not gonna give no, like I don't care about nobody. I'm not giving no. But then he turns around, and then because he's the reason why Trump is the reason why the reporters are talking like this about, you know, Diddy. You know, what do you say? Let me see what it says. Diddy will face strict rules because you know he's already telling people that he gonna get released. He might have, you know, that's what I'm saying. He shouldn't do that. As a government, he shouldn't do that. You got to keep certain things to yourself. You got to keep certain things to yourself. So, like, you know, he kind of like he make too much promises. You make I kind of like I never seen you make like, and though even though he kept some of them, what I was gonna say, you can't make 10, 8, 20, you know, 10 promises all at once. You know what I mean? Because in today's era, 2025, where it's not like 2001, where we're like, all right, you make a promise now, we're gonna expect you to give us the result in the next 2 years or so or 3. No, people want to hear it now. People want the results now. So you got to be careful who you make promises to. You can't just make promises to 20 people and don't, you know what I mean, and only do 2 of them or 1 or whoever you choose. You know, so especially these young people, they're smart as hell, and they know politics and they know politics.
pretty good at this stuff. I think that he wants to make a deal. I made 8 of them. I'm going to make a 9th. I think he wants to make a deal.
Okay, if there's one AI site builder you need to meet, this is Dope Tech from Wix. Now, this whole flow is a...
My bad, let me skip that. I'm in about no friggin' AI.
Well, I think that he should have won the war in a week. Yeah, I do think. And if we didn't give the anti-tank missiles, as you know, the javelins they call them, they got stuck in the mud. They would have been in Kiev very quickly. They were heading to Kiev. So, you know, in war, you have a lot of luck too. You know, weather has won war, and the cold and the heat and all things take place in war. But that was a very interesting moment when the tanks started rolling and some brilliant general said, let's go through the mud instead of going down the highway, right? So they got a little bit lucky. But you know where they really got lucky? I gave javelins. That wasn't given by Barack Hussein Obama. He gave them sheets. You know, there's a statement. Obama gave them sheets and I gave them...
Why does he keep saying that? Like, he's always... This is my thing, right? He always recycled everything he said. Bro, we get it. We get it. Ibaka gave them whatever, and you gave them sheets. I don't get it. I don't like. I know, like, I get it, but you don't have to bring that up all the time. You ain't got to do that all the time. I think he's getting frustrated though. Frustrated. When anybody drop the F-bomb, is like they're frustrated or they're like, you know, man, I can't deal with it. It's like stop. Like, you know, like you drop it because you know you're just tired of the question being asked. Like, ask me something else. They don't know how to mess with us. You know what I mean? We America. Who they think they is? Move on. But these guys are using drugs to buy military weapons. It's just like, if you're fighting against, a big time world cartel like the Venezuelan government, you know what I mean? I don't know how he got that power. You're fighting against a cartel like that, you're gonna have more people, that he's secretly behind him that's probably buying or getting, some deals so they could trade for weapons. Because we all know the military trade dope for weapons. Like, you know what I mean? That's not acting like it's a secret. Or no, it's not. Yes, they's out here doing this. They're out here doing this shit. And I'm just saying that they got submarine and is they trying to get them to America or what is they doing? I don't think what I think is going on, I don't think it's dope. I think they're actually sending people over here to beef. They're actually sending people to the United States to attack. That's what I think. That's why we have all these military actions in Baltimore, Chicago. We had it in Washington, D.C., saying, oh, we're going to group up all the people, the black people, and all that. We're going to do all this. No, it isn't. I mean, that's just to see who they dealing with, who the plugs, who the drug cartels. Like, remember, they're all over in those spaces in the hood. They're not in this, they deal with people in the hood. So if you're watching some type of big drug dealer or a middle class trafficker, and you see like, okay, he's gonna get this stuff from this Spanish guy or whatever. You follow him to the next dude. I think that's why they're doing all this military exercise, because these guys are actually sending people into the United States, into Marines and underwater, submarines, boats or whatever. I don't think it's just dope. I think it's just guns, and majority of them are a weapon, and they're coming to the country trying to start a civil war, or trying to strap up their people. I heard that too. Wasn't that funny? I heard that. How are you gonna look at someone get shot and they say, well, he died of an overdose? Yo, I heard that. That's why I don't even like talking about Charlie Kirk. I swear to God, I don't like talking about it. That's too much. That is too much. That killer. That. Whew. Whew. Let me tell you, a lot of stuff. But let me get back to what I was saying, y'all, before they bought me off the other. I think that low key Trump knows that these people are trying to come to attack him in the country. I think these people are trying to come into the country to start some type of war, and think they could, they have the power to take over or run these streets of America because they got people who they selling. We're gonna get to a point where you're gonna see some of these, neighborhoods teaming up with the cartel trying to fight the government. And I think that's what's going on in Chicago when these people are telling the government you can't come here. But that's what I think is going on. I think, in America right now, it's a lockdown because food stamps said some, and I was like, nah. But he kind of makes sense when he said, majority of people that are selling, our plugs are big time drug lord in America are Spanish people, and and it kind of makes sense. It makes sense because now it makes sense why is he going around to middle class neighborhood. Not only black people live in a middle class neighborhood, and when you can't get, you get the dope. I hope. Who's that? Are you talking to You talking to Killer? I hope he rested. But anyways, yo, Killer, yo, don't leave Charlie Kirk alone, yo. They're gonna get you, yo. I just think that's what's going on, and people gotta pay attention. I think these dudes that are, in the United States, they're shipping out and they're going across the border because Trump is putting the pressure on them. This is why you know all this. You got to think about the area, Chicago. They ship from the plug, the Mexicans. You know what I mean? Or some Spanish people. Baltimore. Them niggas are probably getting this shit right now from, you know what I mean, the Mexican people. So you got to go everywhere in the area where because I don't see them going nowhere else because it's not controlled by, you know what I mean? Everywhere else is basically controlled by bikers, which is Trump is not going to fuck with that. You know what I mean? So right now he's playing a competition, where he's favoring those group of people and trying to, if it makes sense. I'm just saying. I don't know. You know what I mean? If it makes sense. But it's a lot of crazy stuff going on. A lot of crazy stuff going on today. A lot of crazy-ish. A lot of it. But I think that's why he's going through the neighborhood where you got, the stuff that's going on. With I think he believes that these people are operating out of middle class neighborhoods. And why I say that, because you seen the one thing happen with what was that, Florida? When we seen them people went to them people place and drag them people out, start, taking them people out them house. Yeah, because they're already here. So what they're doing right now is just bringing their extra weapon and their extra stuff, and there is, they I mean, like, the streets is not the same. And you don't know where is where. And you got to remember, these drugs that these guys are bringing to the country, it's not drugs that you could touch with your hand and pick it up. You got to either use gloves or you got to use one of those Q-tip, what do you call those things? You got to use one of those, one of those, a knife or scissors or something to pick it up out of the bag because it's that dangerous. You want something that dangerous in your neighborhood or in your house or in your building or it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, I'm coming, boo. It's a lot. It's a lot. Think about it, people. It's a lot. Hazy, what's going on, family? Peace, God. Peace, Hazy. Peace, God. Peace. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. Much love and respect. Much love and respect. Much love and respect to my guy, Hazy. And that's a fam right. That's a guy, like I said, Mike,
The javelins are a devastating weapon. And that wasn't given by Obama. That was given by, because at the time it was Obama. That was given by me. So it was like one of those things. And you had hundreds of them. They're a devastating weapon. We have a lot of devastating weapons. I'd rather not use them. But that was a big moment. When the tanks got stuck, they got stuck. And call it luck or call it talent. I'm not sure what you'd call it, but it was a big moment in time.
Do you think Democrats will give you credit? Do you think Democrats will give you credit when you finally end this war, like they did with the war in the Middle East? And
I think right now the Democrats are really damaged, mentally damaged. They want to take 1.5 trillion with a T, $1 trillion and give it to people that invaded our country. They came into our country illegally from prisons, from mental institutions, gang members. They want to give them health care and take it away from our citizens. We're not going to do that. $1.5 trillion. They want to destroy. They want to destroy our health.
It makes sense. See, no, it makes sense. You see, you guys don't even know how top secret this is. This is so top secret, bro. And I'm right. I'm gonna say I'm right. So the reason why he's in Chicago and Baltimore is he's trying to take out those people over there that has a whole bunch of money, right? And they're just like, they're illegal, where they just bringing bad stuff into the country. They got all, could you imagine an immigrant coming to your country that got more connections than politicians and to do more stuff into your neighborhood than a politician? That's why you assign a politician to a street. Like a politician might control some part of that area. All right, you control the rich side of Baltimore. You control the poor side of Baltimore. You control the rich side of Washington. I'll control the poor side of Washington. Like, so this is why everybody was getting deported. Hazy, remember when you said they was looking for people, dog? That's why they're deporting people. They're looking for, and they go ready about to lock a lot of people up. Yo, I swear to God, I believe you, my nigga. You was right on that, bro. You was right on that. You was right on that because I think Trump was right because I don't think Trump deported everybody. You know, I know this too because even the Jamaicans that was in America that came over here through Mexico and got into America, they also got owed by the FBI, and you know, so and not saying that all of them was like, you know, all of them came over here illegally, but he got the one mostly that was doing the cyber crime, you know, the fraudulent and scamming America for like millions of dollars. Yo, Trump is on the shit. I'm trying to tell you because I know right now, all of our peoples right now in Jamaica, they got to be in the United States with real documents, real papers. They can't just come in like what they used to. They can't just, you know what I mean? As soon as you can't even stay a day. As soon as your visa's done, if you don't call them right over and tell them about, you know what? All right, like the artists is now. They come to America. What show are you doing? All right, I'm doing a show tonight. I'm doing a performance over here in Baltimore. You know, I'm gonna be down here. All right, so you're working. So now when you see these artists here, Trump is the American king. Anyways, you know, they're working. So if you're over here and you're not performing, if you're just in America as an artist, moving around and just not doing anything, not showing yourself on camera what you're doing, because that's what you do. Even if you're a blogger, you could be like, yo, President Trump, I'm coming to America to do, you know, a blog about your country, and he's not going to question. They're going to let you in. They're going to let you in. You have to be on a working permit. And people can't come over here and people say, oh, he's not going to let you in. No, you got to be on a working permit. You know what I mean? So even if I want to be America, I'll be like, you know what? I'm going to do a cooking video, you know, Trump. Because, yeah. Right, bro. Right. You know. So, listen. Like I said, I know, that's why I don't know what people are talking about him. Yo, I know people that just came out of jail. And Trump let them in the country. Come out of Jamaican, and he's like, you're not gonna come over here and just sit because you just got out of jail. If you're not on a working permit, you gotta leave the country. Working permit. That means it's either you're gonna cook, you're gonna learn a trade, you're gonna get a job. You can't just come over here. You can't just be like China. Come over here and learn all the trades and go back to your country. You gotta be on a working permit. You can't just come in the country no more and steal all the ideas and go back to your country. You gotta be on a working permit, which makes a lot of fucking sense to me if you ask me. It does. Because if you don't do it like that, we always gonna have illegal Indians. I mean, Indian people, legal, you know, from everywhere. You got to do it like that because what they do, they come here, and people gonna say, why he do it like that? That's not freedom. That's not that whatever. Why he do it like that? Well, why he does it like that? Why you got to be on a working permit? You just can't come over here on a student loan visa no more in America. I think Canada should do the same thing because these Indian people, now remember, black people can't go nowhere with a student. American black people or white folks can't go in no country with no student loan visa and stay there. You know what I mean? They can't. What's there to do? It's going to be harder. You're going to have to have send people sending your money in your country to pay for your books and whatever you're going over there to learn. You're not free. Right, exactly. Boxing prodigy. You know what I mean? Exactly. You know, like I said, everybody got their own little opinion, but you know, people that you guys didn't see the scam, yo. You guys didn't see the scam. They were using student loan visa to come in the country. So now you got to say, yo, you can't just come here and go to school. It's not gonna work for you no more like that. You're gonna have to be able to. You're gonna have to work too. You can't just come to the country and say, "Hey, go to America. We're gonna come and fake student loan application and get to stay in the country because you're not gonna. By the time you figure out that stuff is fake, it's too late. So having someone come into the country on a work permit is way better than a student loan visa because that's how they scam the country and this is how they stay and this is how they rob. You know what I mean? So it's way better. I think it's way better. I think it's way better. I think that's a lot of stuff I don't see people talking about. They bash Trump, but they don't talk about how him making a student loan instead of having a student loan visa and make it a work permit. And when your work permit is up, you gotta go. You can't just stay. And a student loan visa, you could sit over here, you know what I mean? And it's fake because you don't know that person's name could be whatever. You know what I mean? That person's name could be a totally different name. You could be whatever. And all that stuff is fake. So now they come over here, they take this class and they say, oh, I need money for this class. And then they apply for the big check and they leave the country. They leave the country. Or they send the money back underneath a different name. Some of these stuff, let me tell you, bro. Some of these things I can't lie, they should get done. But some of these things I don't think they should be, I can't lie to you. Some of these people, they crooks. Much respect, much respect. Bless you too, bro. But a lot of these things, like I said, people don't see the scam, and it took us that long. Like you tell me, Trudeau, Biden, they couldn't see the scam, dog. Y'all couldn't see the scam. What these people are doing? Where's your antennas? Where's your technology? They was coming over here underneath fake student loan visas, and making and get more money than a regular student, American college kid or Canadian college kid. How is that? And think about it. An average Canadian student, college, university, American, have to work extra shift to pay for their classes. You know what I mean? Because they don't give out those now, right? So, and it's kind of messed up, and it's hard. It's hard for Americans and Canadians to get student loans. But you have someone come to the country and just say, "Oh, I'm from here, and we're gonna help you because you're immigrant. We're gonna give you all the money to go to the college and finish all your classes." That's me. I came over here once too, but I had to get it. I had to get my citizenship. I've been in this country for like what now? 32, 33 years. Man, I know that because that's when the last time the Jays won the championship. You know what I mean? Because I came in the country around those times. So, and I had to do it the right way. The Democrat was taking money to look. Yeah, bro. And no one talks about it. 85% of them. 85% of them, bro. 85%. I'm finding out 85% of Democrats was taking money to look the other way. And that's a big percentage. Nobody talks about it. That's a big. That's a big. Let me highlight here. That is a big percentage. That is a big percentage. A big. What the hell? I'm telling you. Why do you think at one point America and Canada was flooded with so much Indians? I mean, like, you know what I mean? It's not UK. As I say, UK do it the right way. UK, that shit don't fly in UK. That's why you never hear Arias, say, oh, you know what, that. He always said the people need to get in the country the right way because they do it. Him and his dad and his mom and his family did it the right way in UK. You know what I mean? That's why they living like that. And they comfortable. But the people of now will come. This is why we gotta stop these things. So the people will come here and extort these same, like people like Riaz and them that not doing no crime and just living freely and paying taxes and creating jobs for other people. They will come over here, right? On a student loan visa, and extort them and go and take money from them and go back to their country. This is what's going on right now in America and Canada. This is why what Trump is doing. He's doing good stuff. You know what I mean? I kind of like some of the stuff. I don't understand, but when it comes to stuff like this, like bombing these motherfuckers from bringing countries, you know what I mean? Deporting back people, because think about it. If I'm a Canadian citizen and I can't even do certain things, and I gotta go through certain loops, and I'm walking down the street and I'm like, damn, how did that person get up there so fast? He just got here. That doesn't seem strange to you guys? And I lived here all my life. Come on, that's kind of strange. It's kind of strange. So I kind of like some of these people, but I think the main reason why he's going around Chicago, Washington, Baltimore, because after these big time, people that are making money are buying dope from them. And, that's why he was going around locking people down, just to find out if where they at. You see what I'm saying? Where these Venezuelan plugs at? You know what I mean? Where you in the United States and America, and obviously majority of the time they're gonna be in some suburb, but majority of the time they're gonna set up shop in black neighborhoods. These are the facts. And the majority right now, what I'm hearing from food stamp, what I'm hearing, you know what I mean? When I talked to my people last time, they is running in New York. You know what I mean? The people where they're getting their shit from is them in New York. And they're not even playing by the rules. And that's why people don't like them. You know what I mean? And that's why the government's really trying to get rid of them, because everybody else is playing by the rules. The Italians, the bikers are playing by the rules. You guys are not playing by the rules. You guys are doing whatever you want. You guys are over here, having, going around paying 14-year-olds, 12-year-olds to move you guys' products that could, if they open the bag, it could get them killed. Like, you know what I mean? You don't want a whole bunch of 14-year-olds, 12-year-olds dying on the street. You know what I mean? Remember, these are the cartels that are hiring these kids. You know what I mean? That's why they're getting younger and younger. They're the one that's giving them this money. It's not people like me and our Caucasian dude, or somebody might, or they might put on an older dude, and the older dude might try to put on a younger dude. That's how they're doing it. So man, I tell you right now, this is by him keeping the shit out of America is good. That Canada is now the number one distributed fentanyl, opioid, heroin. You know what I mean? America is not that no more. They don't, they're not the country that people are like. Drugs has come from America. Ever since he came in power, it hasn't been like that. That's one thing I could say for a fact. And I could prove that. I could prove that to anybody. You know what I mean? Just by, compare America with my government and what he did when my government came and when his government came in with the dope and what he was saying. You notice everybody don't really call him out about, it's Mexico, Canada don't really call him about the drug problem no more because they know he was true. It was true. He wasn't lying about when he said, you let the cartels fucking drugs into our country. He wasn't lying. He was not lying. A lot of people say, oh, he's starting problems with America and Canada. It's the truth. It's the truth. You're going to make your friend allow. That's like Hazy said. Democrats get paid to look the other way. You know what I mean? At the time, when the shit was going into America, Justin Trudeau, which is a Democrat, Canadian Democrat. If you flip it to the American side, is Canadian Democrat, not a Republican. So there we go. As I said, so many stuff.
Healthcare system. We're not going to let that happen.
Do you authorize CIA operations in Venezuela as part of?
Well, I wouldn't say that, but some interesting things are happening around the world. I'll say that.
It's been reported, Mr. President, it has been reported that Maduro offered everything in his country, all the natural resources. He even recorded a message to you in English recently, offering mediation. What should we do in order to stop that?
He has offered everything. He's offered everything. You're right. You know why? Because he doesn't want to fuck around with the United States. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you guys. Thanks, guys. Let's go.
Real talk.
Thank you guys.
Real badness, yo. Real badness. Like I say this all the time. I say this all the time, right? With them people down there, that's how you gotta talk to them. You gotta talk to them like that. They don't understand like how we talk to each other soft and all that stuff. People don't. The countries they don't talk to each other like that down there. You gotta talk to them with rough attitude. You gotta talk to him like when you go and see it down there in their country. Don't wanna f around. With the f around, you don't. You know who you met, nigga. We B2 bomb your ass, boy. Stop. You know what I mean? Stop. Real talk, yo. Real shit. Because I just like I don't. It's the truth. I don't know where the money's going. It doesn't seem like nobody's making money off the streets like that. So, yo, if niggas can't make money in the streets, I don't want this shit over here. Straight up, fuck out of here. Keep it over there because I don't see what's going. You know what I mean? Real talk. You don't see what's going. Keep that shit over there, boy. Keep that shit up. Niggas ain't making money off that, and people can't survive like what they used to do in the street hustle. On y'all are trying to bring this shit and not split it with the American people, but y'all are bringing your own people back doing a fake visas. And, y'all bring like, at least 50 people in America, and then they all have different gangs that the American people don't know about, that the Canadian people don't know about. So that, right, I'm telling you that you guys don't even know. They're in the country. That's why when Hazy was like, yo, they're already here, yo. They already set up shop. It's true. Why do you think this man is moving around? Why do you think our government is doing the same thing? What Trump is doing, sending certain police into certain, like, Montreal. You know what I mean? Where the Montreal, Ottawa, where the cartels, hide out. Yeah, they doing that too. They're doing the same thing, but they're not doing a trumpet. They're not announcing it, but they're going around and setting up shops in these neighborhoods when they know these cartels are, hooking up with people and dropping off work to them or dope or whatever. You see what I'm saying? Real shit. They're doing it. JD Vance laughing. Real talk. Don't fuck around with the fuck around. Because you guys are trying to duck the CIA, duck the DEA, duck the FBI. You know what I mean? And yeah, I think the Democrat was taking money to look the other way, bro. I'm just saying. And it's like, how much money was they taking? Because, a lot of people came here, bro. A lot of people came into 2 countries, bro. 2 countries without nobody questioning and asking no question, but we question everybody. We question everything the niggas do. Everything we do, we got a problem with it. They got a problem with it. That's how I said, the Democrat, they sidetrack us. They give us all these stories and all these vlogs to do, but they're making the real money. They're filling their pockets. The government, actually, my bad. I'm going to say the Democrat, the government. But they're all the same to me. It's politics. Politics and politics, I don't trust it. But they all, play a role when it comes to certain things. I don't think Trump is taking money to look the other way. I think he might probably get a couple money from them. I do say this. He does take money from the prince, or not prince, gifts. That dude down there. I don't think he's taking money. I think he's he's not taking money because he's like a gift guy. He likes stuff that he could keep forever and said, oh, I remember I got this in this 19, this, da. He's not a money guy. He's taking he'll get a loan I guarantee he probably paid back Eli already too. I just think he's taking gifts, but I just think it was crazy that they had so much people came over here without passports, and setting up shops. Imagine people come over here, don't speak English, never been to ESL class. They're just in your country, running your neighborhood, running your streets. While your kids are going to school, you don't understand what's going on. Bullying next people that look like them. You see what I'm saying? And you don't even know what's going on. You probably think it's just family drama, not knowing that these are drug cartels. There's a lot of drug cartel groups that got inside of America while the Democrats was in power. A lot of them. A lot. There's there's Guanaswalas, is now in America. And those guys never used to be there when, when they grabbed El Chapo. Like, how did they get it? How did they? Not bad. They wasn't there, but they wasn't living there. They was just in and out. There's a lot. Y'all don't see what's going on. You know, the government shit. You know, this you know, this government here is the government before this allow a lot of stuff to went down, a lot of dirt. That this didn't just happen overnight. You tell me, and the security that America have, the satellites, you ain't never seen none of. So why is Trump seeing everything, but nobody else ain't never seen everything? That's my thing, and I get it. You're not doing nothing for America. I get that part, whatever people say, but how come we're not talking about that? How come he's seen every time they want to come here with a submarine and 30 people? Because a submarine is not you're not bringing no little shit. You're not bringing no, 100 keys. You're not bringing no 200 keys. You're probably bringing like thousands of keys. You see what I'm saying? Thousands, probably 10,000 keys, more than that. That is what is just think about the dose of what that could do, and that's all fentanyl, heroin, fentanyl, heroin, and and what else? Yeah, and crystal meth. That's all this stuff they bringing in. They're not bringing no coke. None of them stuff. You know what I mean? Real talk. Yeah, and that too. They're bringing in big military equipment and all that stuff. You know what I mean? They're bringing their own weapons, yo. They're bringing their own weapons. So, yeah, yo, they really out here bringing stuff into the country illegally. They really out here. That's why I said this is why these neighborhoods, if you notice, if you go around and you put like, what the fuck, these restaurants popping up out of nowhere that are, Venezuelans, Spanish in your neighborhood. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, you down the street, you see a whole bunch of niggas you had never seen before. And you live there all your lifetime. You live in this country, this neighborhood all your life. You live down the street, you live down the block. You know what I mean? You live up the block. And why are you just seeing this now? Because they took money to look the other way. Government take money not to harass them. You know what I mean? Immigration also take money not to get at them. And I think it's very messed up that immigration to have to do that. That means immigration was put on hold. Immigration was not doing their job in the last 5 years, 5 or 6, 8 years. I don't think the immigration was doing their job. And if you think about it, you tell me everybody just got slipped through like that so easy, slipped through, that people had to pay Mexicans to get in the country. Black people had to pay Mexican people to get in the country, bro. You know what I mean? So who was getting paid to look the other way? Ask them Jamaican people if you think I'm lying. Now come here. I come to America legally. And it's proof. And it's like when you see that and you can prove that, like what the hell? This is what's going on. These people are coming to my country illegally. They're how much money they made without paying, and you got people that are out here that are like, yeah, it's like you bring this shit into the country, crazy if you ask me. Some of them people gotta go, man. They gotta go. They got to go. They got to go. I ain't gonna lie to you. They need to go back. Like I said, they're making it bad for the people that's coming over here, to with their family and shit. They're making it bad, real bad. They're making it bad. They need to go back. But on the Trump, hey, Hazy, you see that? They say Diddy, Hazy, you see what they said? Trump said he's thinking about pardoning Diddy, yo. He's going to get 48 hours. That was yesterday. And, but they're saying they're so mad. They're like, oh, he's gonna be on 5 years restriction and all that stuff. But what I'm saying, certain stuff, boy, you pay attention because I knew the judge. The judge messed up. That's why he gonna get the pardon. And I told y'all the judge messed up. The judge played a 13 jury. That's what everybody was saying. I was the one that came up with that, but when I looked at it, I was like, that person right. The dude's playing a 13 jury. What he basically did was play, talk for a jury that was not there. You're the judge. You're not supposed to speak like that. You can lay on your own thing, but it's not your case. It's not a judge-only case. That was kind of crazy to see how, dude right there. But yeah, he might be getting released. So it's crazy. Crazy, I'm telling you. But he know what he's doing, though. Dude know what he's doing. He know what he's doing. Can't lie. Okay, I'm gonna get you some juice. I'll be right back. Okay? Hold on, y'all. Hold up, y'all. I'm gonna switch to my phone. Let me back out of this computer thing here. Ugh. But yeah, him, man, the Venezuela government though need to back the L down, back the F down, boy. You're doing too much. How do y'all make a cartel leader become a government? And then y'all expect to deal with the United States of America? How did that happen? How did they let one of the cartels become a government? How did that happen? You can't be mad at him. There is shady ass people here. Shady. All right. I'm telling you, shady ass motherfuckers. Can't lie. But the Trump and them, they have them people scared. They have them scared. They do. They have them people so scared that what I mean. They calling, reaching out to them. I think they hate It booted me out, I had to come back in. But yeah, where where all them people gonna do what they gonna do. That's what I want. But let me check on this other one right here. The Diddy situation. Because Trump recently, reports have come out and said that Trump is about to he's thinking about what they say. He about to and it by yesterday this is where yesterday they said it. 48 hours Diddy might be released from jail. Because Trump has his pardon on his desk. And it's been on his desk. And when you're not gonna do something, you throw it in the garbage. You don't have it. That means you're thinking about it. And you think about it, you're going through the charges, you're reading the charges, and you see what makes sense and you see what's illegal and what's not illegal. And I think the judge ain't gonna challenge that because he did some error that he was not supposed to. Basically went over his use his power a little bit. And the next thing why he might help out Diddy this time because Trump don't like the fact that Biden did the same thing last time. He kind of like put what do you call it? Got a judge to just to impeach. So yeah, it's kind of upset about that. And some people's like, oh, don't come back in and take grudges. Everybody holding grudges. Everybody. Which is crazy. Crazy. Yeah, yo, that is the thing on here. Nigga have a what do you call it? He has he about to give this dude his plea charge. He about to give what's the name a plea deal. Diddy, I guess. And we'll see though. We'll see. I'm not gonna 100% on it, but that is what is going around. I've seen a lot of reports on it, but if he gets a pardon deal, he's gonna be underneath strict restrictions where he can't really go too much. But I'm like, yo, if it just seemed like now it's like when you fair and square, I think Diddy should allow to do as he wants. That's like how Trump got his charges dropped, whatever. Even though certain things he was guilty for, he never did no time. You know what I mean? Because if that was anybody else, any other Caucasian dude, or if it was a black man, they would have been like, So I'm saying they would have been faces. They would have been faced to the extent that they got the book thrown at them. So I just think it's he should be able to do whatever he wants. Talk how he wants, drink how he wants. So all out. I don't think he should be you can't go party here, you can't what else? You can't, no, there shouldn't be no limited restriction. You never rape nobody, never traffic nobody. You know what I mean? Real talk. You should get just like Trump, you ain't never are nobody. So They should, you know, be on the same fucking shit. Like, leave that man, let him get out, let him do whatever he wants. Yeah, let him go do something else, whatever he wants to do. But crazy. Somebody do their time or face their consequences, leave them alone. Because everybody else, they get to sit out, they don't, you know, nobody tells them what to do. Crazy. I would have moved out of the country. If I was a rich dude, you know what I mean? As soon as my thing done, my charges, I'm moving out of the country. Yeah. Especially when I know people are unhappy with me and, you know, don't believe in. People complain about the justice system, it's not fair all the time, but they don't believe in it. They don't believe in it. They don't. Because if they would have believed in it, they would have accepted the verdict. Even the judge don't believe in the system. How about it? If the judge, holy shit. If the judge believed into the system, right? If he did believe in the justice, I'm talking about the Diddy trial. If he did that, then he'd allow the verdict. He kind of like swept the verdict aside and made his own verdict. Yo. A lot of you didn't see that. Y'all tell me that y'all missed that. I didn't see that. Made his own verdict. So yeah, even them don't believe in their own justice system. They don't. But if you believe in your own justice system, you know, then you'd have been like, all right, it is what it is, you know. But they don't because they allow the mainstream media to still talk how they talk. You know, they still word certain things. Like that's why I said when it comes to freedom of speech, we gotta stop using Jimmy Kendall. Like, no, freedom of speech is like been taken away. Had nothing to do with Jimmy. People forgot what happened to, like, you know, like these guys are no prophets. You know, Jimmy Kimmel is not a prophet. Charlie Kirk is not a prophet. You see what I'm saying? Donald Trump, he's all right, but he's not. You know, I don't know, but we gotta stop doing that. These are just intelligent, you know what I mean, smart men. You know what I mean? They have good ideas, they have good plans. You know, so if people are gonna be like, well, Jimmy Kimmel never got beat up for freedom of speech. He got his show taken away from him. You know what I mean? Like he never lose money for freedom of speech. You see what I'm saying? He never lost money for freedom of speech. Probably got his show canceled. You see what I'm saying? But he ain't never have to like he ain't never have to get no beat down and no stop ladder and nothing. You see what I'm saying? So it's ridiculous. I don't know what like that Jimmy Kimmel shit. That's not freedom of speech. That nigga just taking something that here other people use, that other black prophets use, and try to make it up their own shit. Charlie Kirk too. Like, shut up. Like, real talk. Sick of that shit. Just name the man as how it is, bro. A good dude had good talking points. You know what I mean? And you see what I'm saying? Certain things. We gotta leave it as that. When we try to bring other stuff into it, other culture, bring up other people, you know, and try to take what people use. It's just crazy, yeah. I think it's crazy. We gotta stop doing that. I get angry about that. How they're trying to take away like the freedom of speech is always been never, you know, where you can't compare Jimmy Kimmel to freedom of speech. You can't say, oh, you know, because he didn't he talked about Charlie Kirk freedom of speech. But fuck that. Like I'm gonna double down and say fuck that. Because if that was the case, Rodney King wouldn't have got fucked up. JFK would not got shot. Martin Luther King would have not got shot. And you know what I mean? he got shot. That Martin Luther got shot by a white. You know what I mean? He never got shot by a black dude. What's the boy named Charlie Kirk got shot by a white dude, not a black dude. All right, there you go. Totally two different type of freedom of speech. Totally two different type of freedom of speech. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say our freedom of speech fight is a better fight than what Jimmy Kindle got going on. Like, stop this. I mean, y'all trying to make himself into the next, government official in 2026 or 2027, run against Trump or something like that. And these are the guys that's gonna be going up against Trump in 2027 or 2028, 2029 or whatever. These guys, Jimmy Kimball's, you know what I mean? And you know what he's gonna use? What Jimmy Kimball gonna use for to get in the election? Freedom of speech. They cancel my show because I was talking about Charlie Kirk. If you don't shut your dumb ass up, shut your dumb ass up. They gonna use him to vote against Donald Trump. Democrats, trust me, they got so much people lined up in line now. I'm dying to see how this is gonna go. Dying. Sorry to tell y'all, Jimmy, he ain't nowhere to that. He ain't nowhere to Martin Luther King, nowhere to Malcolm X. He ain't nowhere to Bob Marley. Like, Muhammad Ali. Like, stop it, man. Stop. Do not put this boy Jimmy Kimmel in nothing. He just a dude that tell jokes on his late night TV show. That's it. Malcolm X and J.F. Kennedy. That's it. You want to talk about a white person that taught of freedom of speech? JFK. That's why he got shot in his car. There's shit. Even though he got shot by a white person too, but you know what I mean? Because he got put there by the mafia and they didn't want Italians to control their country. Al Capone and them got him there. Yeah, the mafia. Right? Real talk. Always Republicans always have the mafia helping them out. That's why I don't know what Trump is doing right now. He's kind of like a hypocritical. Because the mafia helped him out, got there. The bikers helped him, got there. Helped him. Just like what they did with Kennedy. You see what I'm saying? So it's crazy. That's why I go like, you bombing those guys. How come you're not bombing the biker shipment, but you're bombing the Mexican? You're bombing the Mexican shipment, right? But you're not bombing the biker shipment. That'll make it make sense. You know what I mean, you're not bombing their shipment that's coming to. You know what I mean, because those are your friends. You said it. Hells Angels are good people. You know what I mean, they're not like these guys that are bringing drugs into our country. You know what I mean, they're not that. They're a good group of people. That's what he said. I'm just trying to show you, Hazy. Like, as I said, I speak on both sides. I'm not a government. I'll talk about Trump and I'll talk about Biden bad ways. I mean, that's me. You know what I mean? But he bombed their shipment, and he don't bomb. What do you call it? The biker shipment. But it's like you're almost trying to put the Mexicans and the Venezuela or the business, and only give it to one group of people. You know what I mean? I mean, they also, listen, anywhere the money's at, that's where they're going. You gotta play a fair ball game. And this is why I see why people come in the chat, talk about Trump and call him all these names and say he's not a king. You never hear me cuss them people and block them because you know what? Listen, I'm on both sides of the fence when it comes to politics. You know what I mean? I'm not a one-sided guy. I'm not a one-sided guy. Real talk, I'm not. Real shit, yeah. I'm not a one-sided dude. Not a one-sided dude. It is not the, but it seemed like he's just trying to like. I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to bomb both. Maybe he's trying to bomb both of them. Make sure the cartels don't give the bikers stuff to poison in their city. I don't know. You see what I'm saying? Because that's where they get it from. They get it from the cartel, and then they do their thing. So, but yeah, this thing right here is gonna heat up into the streets where just now you're gonna have, and I said this is a long process. You're gonna have people trying to come, take over her. You know what I mean? Like we've seen that. They try to take over their apartments. You're gonna see them trying to take over this condo. You see what I'm saying? And this other stuff. Like, this is gonna be like a war, on drugs coming to the country, but also a war. And that's what you're seeing right now. The war is not against the American drug dealers or the American trap lords or whatever you want to call them. The war is against the people them that are bringing the shit. So when you see they say, "Oh, we're going to Chicago, we're going to Baltimore," no, you know what they're doing because they know those guys already set up shop over there. They already have, people over there moving their product. You know what I mean? And if y'all remember, I'm gonna say this. I was watching the news and I asked Hazy, the people them, you gotta remember, right? The people them brought the shit into Baltimore and made at least 20 people out of 7, 10, 15 people OD, right? And then the same thing happened in Chicago, and the same thing happening in Washington. That's why I said, where are some of you guys at with the news, yo? Where are some of you guys at? Because I'm seeing some of these stuff on my TV over here. And if I don't see it, I'm sub to these channels on YouTube. I'm asking you guys, like, where did you guys not seeing this stuff? Remember the time when the people got ODs? You know what I mean? They did that. They brought the shit into the country. And they know because they test it. When you test something, you can say, no one had never seen this before. The FBI, the DA going to say, I never seen this before. And they could tell where it's come from. So, yeah, yo. The real Haiti, I said, people forgot that, yeah? People forgot that. People forgot that, Hazy. I didn't forget that. I did not forget that shit. Oh, they was doing that. You know, it was you bringing the shit and bad dope in the neighborhood. And that's when they started moving. The Feds, they figure out like, yo, this shit wasn't coming in. It was not American made. Who said I was a mega? Who said I was a mega? You guys are like the cold school. You guys are like a cold school. You guys are not even real Donald Trump fan. You guys are using Donald Trump as a what do you call it? As a let me you guys make it bad for him. Some of you guys are not true believers. Some of you guys just use his name. You know what I mean? Just for clout. That's to say stuff. I'm dumb. You see? You guys are weird. Some of you guys are not even. No, some of you guys don't have black friends like Trump have black friends. But you guys want to be mega. But you want to be, can't be racist. I want to support somebody when he's got more black friends than you. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Some of you guys just, you know. Trust me. Okay. I got you. Because that's what they do. They come in and they pretend to be people who they're not. It's just crazy to me, boy. Crazy. Crazy to me. Crazy to me, hey. The shit like that people do on here. Ridiculous. You know, ridiculous. Some of the stuff they do is ridiculous. Like I said, some of y'all, it's true though. Democrats do that. They pretending to be that they Trump supporters, and they try to start racist shit. I believe you, Hayes. They do that. You know? They can't help themselves. Cannot help themselves. Not at all. Not help themselves. Not cannot help themselves. Democrat always got to make some fake name come up and say something. I realize that you guys are losing because you guys took money to look the other way, and you guys took, and it's the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. You guys took money to look, because why do you have so much illegal stuff into the country, bro? Why do you have, people that don't have proper documents that have more house than an average American citizen, that have a better land, better car, and not that, you know what I mean, and only been here for like 2 years. I'm telling you, because I know this for a fact. There's this lady here, she's African, and it's the same thing. They let them in the country, Hazy, and the lady had a Tesla. She only been here for 2 years, my nigga. A Tesla, a house, and everything. So now you're about to send her back. She started crying. So in my head, I'm like, why is you even crying? Like, you got here illegally. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't do all that. You got here illegal. Like, there's no way. Like, y'all shouldn't be living like that. Big house, big car. Like, people like, listen, the average immigrant does not live that lifestyle until maybe after, I'm gonna say, 8 years. You know what I mean? Real talk. So, a lot of people mad. As I said, I'm not mad what Trump is doing back when he's sending people back. You know what I mean? And I notice when black people are trying to say something about Trump and what he does, you guys always come in and make racist remarks. Oh, I'm a mega this and I'm that, and we don't support it. And we don't think like it really da. Now that's you. I mean, that's how I'm happy when Hayes to do that, because you gotta call some of these people out. You can see them from a mile away what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Shady stuff. Shady stuff. So, man, y'all wanna come up in here and run y'all mouth? I don't care. What y'all saying? I don't care. Y'all, want to do, because some of the shit that you guys are doing, you guys are making the country look bad. You know what I mean? Democrats. And some megas too, right? Some megas too, because you have Trump already made it clear you have some mega people that were made up by some other group. And you know what I mean? And those are not the mega people he represents. Real talk. There's 2 different type of megas out. So, yes, he already made it clear. People don't know what's going on, yo. I mean, people are not gonna really, I guess you wanted me to cuss out the whole mega group. But you see why I let you know what I know about what's going on? And who, you guys are like that. That's crazy, yo. Crazy. Now we know why. The percentages of the black people are so low in the country. These government that take money to look the other way and not worrying about small business. But there was the same one I was coming and tell you, oh, we love small business. We need small business. All that stuff. Yeah, please. Yeah, keep one here. They love small business and all this other stuff. So, I don't know. That's crazy. Oh yeah. I'm gonna be on regular time though, Hazel. I'm It'll be on regular time later too after, later. Saturday too, we gotta have that. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, this is, how about it? I dropped my phone. My card got stuck in the machine. Not got stuck, I forgot to put it up. Yeah, but
Sorry, can you
yeah, so uh yeah, gotta cut that up. Yeah, you already know. But yeah, we'll do that thing live later. So we could talk about more stuff. We're gonna talk about more stuff. And yeah, we gotta keep it down the line though. We gotta keep it like what we see it. Yo. We can't just, we gotta keep it like, obviously if we got 80% illegal immigrants in the country, you know what I mean? A majority of them are gangsters, drug dealers. Yo, something is not right. You know what I mean? Where's the security when these people are coming into the country? Like, you know what I mean? That means, the drug cartels paying off the government. In fact, it's talking like we see it, yeah. You know what I mean? Like there was just people that were just working on job, but most of the people that are getting, I'm understanding too, most of the people that are getting hazy that they're finding in their jobs, they use drug money to open to fund their companies. Bro. That's why it look like they're just working people. They're not working people. They're use the drug money to open companies and employ a whole bunch of cartel leaders and drug dealers. You see what I'm saying? A whole bunch of them. They did a whole bunch of them. I'm trying to tell you, shit crazy. I don't need. I don't know. What you thought? I mean, what? I never knew. Wow, crazy. I didn't know. Crazy, crazy. We got a war together. We already told you guys there's a war coming up. There'll be a war against the drug cartel. So be careful. You know what I mean? Uh, you can have a value popcorn go bucket.
go bucket?
Yeah.
Okay.
Two soft taco.
Two soft taco.
Yeah. Is that a meal or?
You want meal?
No, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Can I have a fries with that? French fries? Taco Bell fries?
You want? Okay.
Yes. Honey, it's gonna be a war. You just told y'all, yeah. It's gonna be a war with them. There's a war with them. That's what you're seeing right now with the whole, you know. Remember, you can see that. Remember, they was taking over hotels. They was taking over stuff in Pennsylvania. They was taking over,
Fries and cheese.
stuff.
I asked, do you want nacho fries or supreme? You said just
Nacho fries.
yeah, nacho fries is
But what
not
the-
this. This is fries supreme.
It's coming in a like
That's
a cup.
fries supreme. That's $7.
The fries is coming in a cup.
Yeah, that's what you
Order
ordered.
nacho fries.
Take the fries and eat the fries. Fries are fries. Man. Yeah, man. A lot of stuff going on. But yeah, I could say that. That's what I said. I could flip it on both sides where I could say, oh, he's bombing. No, but those guys, work together. So it wouldn't make no sense for me saying, oh, Trump is trying to help us fight this bombing the cartel shipment. No. You know what I mean? They work together. Not going to be a sea of bipartisan. You know what I mean? So you can't really say that. That's how it was kind of chilling. It was kind of crazy how he said that about, oh, those guys are better than those guys. I'm like, yeah, those guys are the same thing. You know, they're the same shit. So, um, yeah. crazy stuff going on. Just shows you that they're about to take over. Shit. They're about to go to war with these guys. That's why they're going into the that's why they're going to the thing on the what do you call it? That's why they're going to the they're going to these neighborhoods. You know what I mean? Yeah, he is going to pardon Diddy. You got it. He's going to pardon Diddy. That's why if you see it, go look. Remember, that's why they're mad yesterday. They put out, oh, you know, they didn't say Trump is gonna pardon Diddy because they already lied to us and said, oh, made it look like. So the mainstream media is so messed up, right? When Trump said I still got it on my desk, because he said that yesterday. And he looked like he's gonna sign it. The mainstream media, Hazy, went out there and started putting out the stuff that Diddy was gonna be on. Oh, he's gonna be on any condition for 5 years. No, you guys lied to us. And I mean, Trump just, put his foot in the judge's ass by saying like, yo, you overstepped. Like you wasn't supposed to do all that. Yes, you can make your comments, but you illegally represent as a third juror. Like, what is you doing? You're the judge. That means you kind of like, X out. You just put that because you needed one more jury, right, to convict Diddy, right, to get him the 4 years or whatever. So you acted as that, yo, fucking pussy. You acted as that. It's illegal. Can't do all that. That's why That's why you're gonna get the pardon. Yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah, and remember that judge was thing by the Democrat. Where what it was a thing by the Democrat. That judge there was put in there by Joe Biden. So yeah. And that's why I think Trump is gonna have fun with this because remember Joe Biden assisted Judge Sue to impeach Trump. You see what I'm saying? He's always doing that. He's always doing that. So we gotta pay attention to that. We gotta pay attention to that. Yo. He's always doing stuff like that. Always doing stuff like that. So you gotta always doing some crazy stuff. Always assisting and putting charges. Yeah, he's gonna pardon do that. He's gonna definitely get him the pardon. I know he's gonna do all that. Definitely gonna get him the pardon. I know that for a fact. That he gonna get him the pardon. Ah, yeah, look at the stuff that they put out there. Yeah. They're like, oh, they did not announce that Diddy he wasn't gonna get a pardon. They announced the fact that he had to do it. And I'm like, and that's when I found out. That's when I find out that. You need a bag? Oh no, I got a bag. That's when I found out that he was getting out. So I'm like, why are they releasing so much stuff about him?
Thank you. $30.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Why are they releasing so much stuff about him? And I'm like, oh, okay, because he's about to give him a party. And
$6.75.
thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. So I'm like, oh, so you guys are about to release him, but don't want to let us know. You know what I mean? What's really going on? I thought it was kind of funny. I thought it was funny, Hazy. I thought it was funny, yo. None of them announced that Trump is thinking about pardon. None of them. Only person people might, even the people I'm that, that blog about Diddy and all the black people, and I think they, that Diddy is the most, you know what I mean? The most thing man in the world. About it, the most, disgusting this guy. It's kind of crazy how they think like that. Since you have Yeah, it's crazy. People are wild. You think gonna happen? Oh, I don't know. The New York mayor. Oof. You know what, Hazy? They might rig that. They might put their own people in. You know what I mean? You know, it might be. They might rig that election. They might put their own people in because you know they had this dude right here and he's like that dude right there and marrying the black guy. He did a lot of stuff for black people, and they gonna make sure that they put somebody. You know, and that black guy right there, that black, that, even though I gave the Diddy the key, the Diddy for the city, he did a lot. The Mexicans, Puerto Rican, and now it's like they didn't like that. So what they gonna do right? What do you think they try to lock him up? You know what I mean? Bro, they gonna make sure this man, they gonna put somebody there that gonna like, you see what I'm saying? Watch, they gonna put somebody there that I'm telling you, watch. They gonna put somebody there that you know that ain't going. That's not with the culture. Not with the Mexican people, not with the Puerto Rican people, you know, not with the black. They can't have that this time around. They're gonna rig the fuck out of that election. Whoever vote, they're gonna pick and choose. Even though the last mayor was picked, he got put there by he handpicked. He got handpicked and put there. So that dude right there, him, definitely you know yeah. I just want to see how they're gonna do it. They might have put a female there too, just because just because of Diddy situation. They might put a female there, watch. Because of this whole Diddy case, it's like Diddy gonna have to move it in New York. But they might put a female there as the Democrats might put somebody there that's with the agenda. So there is one of them. Banana? Definitely gonna yeah, they're gonna put a female there, bro. Yeah, a female that's I don't talk for us. Like, you know what I mean? A female that don't talk for us. Female that wants to do nothing. That has nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? That's what I got. Hey, Hazy, remember I told you this. The next mayor of New York is gonna be a female. And he's gonna be all against men. I mean, probably gonna have a girlfriend. I'm gonna tell you. Watch, they go do Democrat. Hey, trust me. I mean, they gonna use them there. I mean, think about it. 5 years, right? And how long does a mayor take to get out of power? 4 years, right? All right. There we go. You're putting Diddy underneath strict restriction rules for 5 years. No, he don't got to live in New York. You know what I mean? But basically, why if they do put a female mayor that's with that agenda where they think that man is the cockroaches, then he's fucked. He's fucked. Especially a man like that, a sexual man like that. You know what I mean? That's the thing right now. It's the sexual man like that, a man not like that could look at a female. We don't have to touch a female, and a female will be all over them. You know what I mean? And cry for them all night. Turn in their bed and hug their pillows. They don't want man like that around them. No. They don't. No. trying to get out of society, man. Niggas like that. When I say Chris Brown is the last of them. Chris Brown is the last. After Chris Brown, you ain't gonna see no more person that. You know, you ain't gonna see no more person that's gonna be acting like that. You know, grinding on a girl, probably in the Caribbean, Africa, you know, Puerto Rico. There's even Mexico, low key's trying to go to the agenda too, where they don't have sexual like what they used to. But they used to be very sexual. I know what happened to that. You know, I'm talking about when it comes to men and women. You know what I mean? Maybe they hide it, but it's probably still like that in their country. Because the majority of the people that come here, I see them, I'm like, damn, there is, you know, there is thing. There's it's already down to 3 people. Oh, I did not know that. I did not know that. Did not know that, Hayes. I know that. I did not know that. Down 2 people already like that. My boss. Yeah. I did not know that was down to 2 people. I haven't been paying attention. I know that I see them like everybody was talking about. Came up on my feed and I was like, well, you see the name that you said, it's already done. No, people. Yes. I'm trying to show you, they really put somebody because that's the case. That's what Joe Biden does. It's like when he got this judge and put him right there and nobody knows who he is. Joe, remember, New York State is a Democrat. Democrat state. New York is a Democrat state. I'm surprised food stamp is Republican. New York is a Democrat. Yeah. Got some food. Get a bite of the stuff for the catering. Get ready to start. And then, later for sure, I have to have talk about something. Medium doubled up.
Sorry?
Medium doubled up.
190.
Talk about find out my reason on my thing was acting like that this morning because I didn't pay my bill, so I had to shut my screen there down. Paid my monthly bill and then turned it back on because it wasn't catching on to the feed. It wasn't catching on to the feed. Yeah, man. This man, and otherwise by him, do I see him controlling and what he's doing to people, them, drug cartels and all that. Thank you. Yeah, you have them in check because you know what I mean. You have them in check. And he wasn't lying when he said the Canadian government, are making the drug cartel bring country to their country because now we had they did a survey and they're basically saying Trump was right. We are the biggest drug distributor for cartels in North America. Canadians. Sad. Yeah. I know some people are like, no way, but look it up. America is not that. Trump made it like that. You know what I mean? Where they had to go somewhere else. You can't do it over here. Don't go somewhere else. We're the biggest distributor of fentanyl, heroin, all these other weird ass drugs that nobody knows about. Because they set up shop over here. They can't go to America and do that much. Trump already sent them home. Now we're gonna have to do a sweep. Canadian government's gonna have to do a sweep themselves. Yeah. they better get to it. But yeah, Hazy, much respect. Shout out to everybody up in here. Like, comment, share, subscribe. When I get off later, I'm gonna jump back on, talk about some of this stuff too. We're gonna have a open panel. All right. I'm gonna see y'all later, y'all. Peace. I can't turn off.